What's up guys, Kane here with XBLA fans, and I'm making a video that I've been asked to make for quite a while now. And basically the gist of what I want to do is talk about why I like the Wideloads so much. Now honestly, I'd love to be able to sit down and say I crunched all the numbers. This is by far the most OP team in the entire game. They're absolutely better than every other team, and I did not arbitrarily pick them because I think hippos are cool. But at the end of the day, that would be a lie. So when it comes down to it, in Super Mega Baseball 1, I enjoyed power hitting teams a lot. I didn't want to play as the Sirloins because like every single person plays as the Sirloins. And I started playing as the Wideloads, and I just really liked them. And then with Super Mega Baseball 2, I started playing with the Wideloads again, and I was just like, man, this team actually is decently underrated in my opinion. It's got some really cool elements. Just looking at the stats here, you can just see straight through the order. There is a ton of power top to bottom. This is a very good hitting team. Now when you look at the pitchers, you're not really seeing any kind of astronomical numbers here, but you have some pretty solid stats on these guys. These are not really people that are going to embarrass you, especially since you have two really good high velocity relievers for late game that you can kind of swap in and kind of mess with people a little bit on, which is super clutch. Now obviously you do have 4 starting pitchers. I would say one of those is pretty weak, but hopefully you don't have to use him too often. When it comes down to it though, this is why I play as the Wideloads. That play right there, I can make an entire supercut of that. That catcher is a god. This team has some of the best arms when it comes to positions that actually matter. You've got a ton of power on the arms from third base, shortstop, right field, catcher. 96 arm on that catcher. I have been stolen on maybe twice out of 20 attempts. It's absolutely stupid. You will absolutely demolish teams that are trying to play small ball on you because you have the arms in the places they need to be. You're going to turn a lot of double plays. You're going to be able to catch a lot of people stealing, and it is really hard to leg out a triple. And that's what I really like about this team, is it kind of takes a lot of those options away from people to where they kind of have to beat me and actually beat me. Because when it comes to that, a lot of the better players know how to play baseball. They actually run some hit and runs. They're actually going to, be a little more aggressive on the base pass, and this allows you to punish them. So when you catch one of those people who's trying to do some small ball against you and, trying to basically turn one hit into a run, you can really make some stuff happen, and that's super clutch. I definitely really like that aspect about this team. Again, not to mention the fact that there is so much power, and the contact's pretty solid too, let's be real. One of the really nice things about this team is it does have, I would say, a handful of people that you can sub in as pinch hitters who are actually really good. Donga, Laveo, Bergman, got a lot of pop on them, and that's really clutch late game when you need to sub someone in. Now, again, when it comes down to it, I play this team because I like how they hit. That's really what it is at the end of the day. If you want to play a team that's got a good bit of pop, but isn't the Sirloins and isn't Nemesis, which are the 2 most common teams I feel like I see online. I know that Metalhead just posted the stats actually yesterday, and I believe those actually are the 2 most common teams at like 19 and 15%, whereas my Wideloads are sitting pretty around like 3 or 4. So this is a really solid team with power all the way through the lineup. That was my number 6 and number 7, or 7 and number 8 hitters right there, who just cranked that. And it's not just a team that can power hit, it can play a lot of small ball with this team too. But like, it's really convenient, the amount of power that you're seeing at the bottom end of your lineup. One swing can basically turn a game, especially at a lower ego where it's actually pretty easy to hit home runs. I mean, even around, I think most of these clips, I'm going to guess, are being recorded around 75. And even then, it's not that hard to hit for some pop around here, especially when people are leaving pitches like that out over the plate. And this is one of the things I really liked about this team compared to some of the others I've looked at, is that the bench players are actually at a high enough quality that you can still do some cool things. Sub them in, get some runs like that. Now, obviously, these are not perfect clips. I just grabbed some stuff of me playing that kind of tried to illustrate what I'm talking about while I'm talking about it. So you're going to see a bunch of mistakes like that base running error I just made, but at the end of the day, who really cares? We still ended up run rolling that guy, and that's what you're trying to do here. With the wide loads in particular, you're trying to play a team that's going to put up some runs. This is not a team that you're probably going to, you know, completely shut out a good player. If you're playing against someone who actually knows how to hit and isn't chasing pitches, by no means do you have amazing power pitchers. But this is a team that even if you're not going for, you know, moonshot home runs, has a good bit of potential to do a lot of things. They're not that fast at the bottom end of the order. That is probably my biggest complaint about them. Is at the top, they're fine. It's not really a team you're going to steal bases with, but they're at least quick enough that they can, you know, hustle down the line. When you get to the bottom of the order, you start to see some of the weaknesses with the team. But again, those are typically in positions where speed is not going to be that essential. I don't really need that fast of a catcher. And I mean, yeah, my right fielder and my left fielder are a little bit slow, but they make up for it with the ability to, you know, kind of field and throw. So it kind of works out. And my center fielder is good enough that he can kind of cover most of the field for me. So it's definitely some convenient stuff there. But when it comes down to it, the wide loads are just pretty all-round decent. You're going to be able to just continue to mash on people. These gaps in the alleys, you know, between center, that's just really where you're going to kind of thrive. So a lot of what you're going to try to do with this team is hit these doubles consistently. And then, you know, when you have guys on base, you might be able to get a nice little pop for a homer. It's very much a team that, in my opinion, you really want to get the power swing down with. For me, I would say I power swing almost all the time anymore. Especially because I've gotten used to it to the point that now I'm hitting those ridiculously high numbers almost every time. Now that right there is what I meant by your base running's pretty slow. You got to remember that because sometimes you'll do something that with another team you could have easily gotten away with and you're going to choke on it. But when it comes down to the pitching, they're not that bad. If I remember right, I think I'm actually using the absolute worst pitcher on the team right now. And, like, even with the fact that I'm mispitching and, you know, and I'm not really, you know, I didn't grab a clip of my best pitching performance. I just literally grabbed a first inning from a game previously. And you're going to see that you're able to induce a lot of ground ball contact, and your infield is going to be able to pick you up. Your third baseman, your shortstop, your second baseman, they're great. Your first baseman sucks, but it doesn't matter because fielding does not seem to impact his ability to catch the ball when it's actually being thrown to him. So he has an 8 for fielding, but who really cares? If you hit it to the first baseman, it's not like he needs to be able to field it well. Half the time you can knock it down and then pick it back up and still run to the bag. Like I just showed you, the second baseman there, it's pretty clutch. Your shortstop, really good arm. You know, you're going to be able to turn these double plays that you need. So you really have a lot of the things you need. And that's what really matters at the end of the day. Because if you're playing as the wide loads, your goal is to get that forfeit screen, or at least to get your opponent, you know, basically to where they're not exactly enjoying their day and they kind of get a little thrown off by things. Because you can really, really hit the ball pretty good with this team. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate you guys checking out this video. If you guys want to see more videos like this for all the different teams, please do let me know, because that's something I'm planning. And if it's something you guys are interested in, it's definitely something I'll play, you know, and kind of get down. But thank you guys, and later.